Some additional information on that official letter written to the president calling on him to include recurring monthly stimulus checks in the American Families Plan, including what about Social Security, SSDI, SSI, and VA? What about the raise for Social Security, SSDI, SSI, and VA, as well as additional questions? Let's get into it. Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. If you've been part of this community for a while now, thank you so much for coming back. I truly appreciate it, and it is amazing to see you each and every day. As I say, I am your daily advocate, as I am back every single day to help you out in any way that I can through these videos. So if you happen to be new here, or if you haven't done so already, please make sure to hit the subscribe button right down below the video, and I will continue to be here for you each and every day going forward. Thank you, I truly appreciate it, and let's talk through this. So if you didn't happen to catch my video that I just released a short time ago, it is titled something like Official Letter, Monthly Stimulus Checks to be Included. If you didn't see that video, go back and check it out after, of course, you finish watching this one. Well, in that letter, or in that video, we read you the official letter sent to the president calling on him to include monthly recurring stimulus checks into the American Families Plan. Now, this is actually the third letter that we have sent to the president calling on him for a fourth stimulus check and monthly recurring payments. Well, on that video, I had a number of people reach out to me and ask some very specific questions. And I wanted to bring you a follow-up to that video to answer these questions because I've had multiple people asking me, and I'm sure that there's others out there wondering the exact same thing. So let me walk you through these. Now, these are the most commonly asked questions that I should say, and they're the questions that have the most concern. So, being your daily advocate, I need to come back and help you out through this because I know it's incredibly confusing. So, please let me lay this out for you a little bit more clearly. First question being, what about Social Security, SSDI, survivors, retirement, SSI, and VA beneficiaries? Would we be included for the next stimulus check as they're presenting in this letter, recurring stimulus checks? I didn't hear a single word. You're right. There was not a single word in that letter written about Social Security, SSDI, survivors, SSI, or VA. They did say low income, but you're correct. There was not a single mention of any of these beneficiaries that I just mentioned. However, should you be scared? No. Please do not be scared. Do not worry about it one bit. The reason I say that is they're referring to lower income individuals, okay? By default, people who receive these benefits that I just mentioned, most people are probably falling into the lower income individual or the lower income categories, okay? Another thing too, the recurring stimulus checks that they're referring to and the expansion of the UI, unemployment insurance benefits, that is for in the event economic conditions continue to worsen, they would continue to send out these additional stimulus checks and expanded unemployment insurance benefits, regardless of if somebody receives Social Security, low income, or if it's somebody earning whatever they decide, $75,000 a year. Basically, everybody under the threshold that they determine, whatever they determine as the economic factors to determine your eligibility, that's what they're going to determine. So those of you receiving any of the benefits I've been mentioning, Social Security, SSDI, SSI, VA, all of that, please don't worry about it. You would absolutely be included. Just like the first three stimulus checks, remember those? The $1,200, the $600, and the $1,400? All of you were included for those three stimulus checks as well. So again, please don't worry about it. I know there was not a specific mention about these beneficiaries, but that's okay. You fall into the category of people who would be included, okay? So I hope that helps you out with that question. Next question being, it goes again along with Social Security. I didn't hear a single word about the Social Security raise for retirement, disability, survivors, SSI, and VA. Are we still getting it? Okay, you're right. Once again, there was not a single mention of Social Security or any of these benefits that I just mentioned. Not a single mention of any of them. Again, they did talk about low income. However, let me just clarify. This letter was specifically written to the president to ask him to extend the unemployment benefits, UI benefits, as well as the direct payments or direct recurring stimulus checks, as we call them, in the American Families Plan. So That's what this letter was all about. It was building the case for adding these benefits into the American Families Plan. It was just those two benefits: direct monthly recurring payments and expansion of unemployment benefits in the event economic conditions continue to worsen, as well as adding them as stabilizers. So that's what this whole letter was about. They did not write this whole letter as reaching out for increases of Social Security, things like that. There are other letters, in fact, talking about that, which I do have dedicated videos talking about as well. From about a month or so ago is when I had that official letter. Once again, Corey read the official letter calling on raises for SSI, Social Security, things like this. So that is a totally separate topic. All right, so I hope that answers it again and hopefully clarifies a little bit more for you. Additional questions that I continue to see is, when can we expect these monthly payments to start? How much are they going to be? Who is it going to include? And how long will they continue? As well as, what else? Yeah, how much? So I said that. But either way, let me run through these one at a time. First, I just want to say, this is kind of one of those, you've heard of like a rabbit hole, right? I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. Well, it's kind of that same situation. The reason I say that is nobody knows the answer to that. Literally nobody knows when they're going to start, how much it's going to be, who it's going to include, and how long they will extend for. However, based on other letters that we've seen sent to the president calling on him for to include recurring stimulus checks, there's a wide range. I mean, we've seen one-time stimulus checks of $2,000. We've seen the recurring payments anywhere between $1,000 and $2,000. So it could be anywhere across the board. As far as who it's going to include, again, good question. We would have to anticipate, probably based on previous parameters on the last couple stimulus checks, probably anybody under, so probably like $75,000 as an individual or $150,000 as a married couple. Now again, they may tighten up these parameters a little bit. Maybe they lower it down to $50,000 of income and $100,000 as a couple. We don't really know. We have no idea what the parameters are going to be, but this is just basically blanket statements that they're kind of putting out, and then it's going to be all within the negotiations as they come together to start to work on this. How long will they continue? Well, again, we don't really know that, but based on their language within this letter saying they want it tied to economic conditions, I would anticipate it's probably going to be tied to the unemployment rate as well as some other economic conditions and factors. With that being said, basically how I would see this is probably, let's just say, for example, it's tied to a 6% unemployment rate. As soon as unemployment rate hits 6%, it triggers, right? And then it kicks in and starts sending out these stimulus checks and expanded unemployment benefits. And as soon as it maybe reaches, once it goes back below, maybe like 5.8%, just again, I'm just making up numbers, then it would stop. So it'd be kind of like a faucet. It turns on when it hits a certain point, and then it turns off when it exceeds a certain point once again, when it comes back down. So I'm not really sure, but we would have to see all of that once they start the negotiation process on this. But absolutely, like I said a minute ago, if you're somebody in the low income category, as in low income for any reason, maybe you're working and you're low income. Maybe you're receiving, like I said, Social Security, SSDI, SSI, VA, RRB, and you're receiving just those benefits. Would you be included? I would anticipate absolutely yes, as you have been the last couple times with the stimulus checks. So again, I know, like I said, it's kind of like a rabbit hole. Seriously, you go down the thing and it's like, oh, when do I get out of this hole? You know what I mean? We don't really know that until they start the negotiation process. However, when they start that and we start getting further information on all of this, of course, I'll come back to you and I'll let you know right away, because I want to know just as badly as you do, how soon, how much, who's going to include, and how long can we expect these things to continue to bang our bank accounts, right? How long can we expect these payments to continue hitting our bank accounts? If it were up to me, I would say, hey, all these other people receiving, earning $150,000 a year are getting monthly payments through the end of the year. At a minimum, let's keep running these things through the end of the year, because, I mean, that's what these other people are getting. So why shouldn't everybody else get monthly checks every single month over month through the end of the year, and then a lump sum payment early next year? That's what everybody else is getting. So I feel like all of these beneficiaries that I advocate for should also be seeing and receiving the exact same thing. right? Fair is fair. I don't know. That's the saying, right? But anyway, hope this helps you out. To all of you who have been reaching out to me with those questions, like I said, if you haven't seen that video, go back and check that one out. It was just a video or two back, a couple of videos back, talking about official letter, monthly stimulus checks to be included is the title. Check that one out, and you can see that official letter that Corey reads to us, word for word, start to finish. Thanks again. I hope this one helps you, and I'll catch you in the next video. I'll see you later.